It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Your generosity can ignite a love for reading amongst our youth. Share your homegrown story. See Cadbury Story Edition packs. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Thank you very much for staying with your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso. Now, we're no stranger to our next guest, Lufuno Sathekge, a.k.a. Lufuno Love on social media, who shares her journey as Vlad's mother. That duo, we love it, okay? Together, they give us a glimpse into the life of a family that, lives and breathes African culture, and they celebrate what makes them unique. I love it, okay? It's confident, loving, warm, and it's inspirational, all the good things. Now, recently, she shared how much they love reading in their home, sharing how privileged she is to be the first book that she read, having been in her mother tongue, Tshivenda. Can you imagine if more South Africans actually had this privilege? I think we all can tap into it. And Lufuno joins us this morning to talk about her love for reading and partnership with Cadbury to help children fall in love with reading. Lufuno, it's so good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning. It's lovely to be here.
Lufuno, we've absolutely loved following yours and Vlad's story on your Instagram page. Tell us about the first story that you read growing up.
My first story, well, it was in primary school. So my first story that I remember, anyway, in my mother tongue was Bona. It was just a series of little short stories that start you off from the I, A, E, O, U's to like learning how to read full sentences. So it's a very memorable book. I loved it. And I'm still looking for a copy for Vlad because I feel like it'll help a lot with his language development.
And those memories are also beautiful because I personally do also remember the earliest books that I got to read in my mother tongue, in Setswana. Those stories were so important. You kind of never forget those stories. They form so much of who you are and how you're able to perceive stories and receive stories. But one of your recent posts on social media celebrates this privilege, Lufuno, and really resonated with your followers. What made that post so special for you?
I think it's honest. Since Vlad was born, every morning I used to greet him. I greet him in Tshivenda, and I think he was about 4 or 5 months when he replied for the first time, and it was. So I think people still have memory of that, and it's very strange that people get excited that you actually communicate with your child in their mother tongue. I get so many people going, "Oh wow, it's so great that you speak to him in your mother tongue," and I get so confused because I'm like, what other language, what other language? It's called a mother tongue for a reason, I think that's why people tune in, they want to see, they really want to see how this journey is unfolding with him and speaking his mother tongue.
And we love to see it. We love to see it, Lufuno. Why is working with Cadbury to help ignite a love for reading so important to you?
I feel like it is one of the most meaningful campaigns that any brand has done. I grew up in a township, and I think my first experience of a library was like in primary school, and it was a donated library, and accessing that library required some VIP situation, and so reading was not something that you could do leisurely. It was something that was done for school purposes. This campaign for me is like kind of bringing it back, like saying, okay, we can actually, because now kids now love to read for leisure because the parents now are enlightened enough to read to their kids. But the fact that Cadbury wants to do this and to accommodate all vernacular languages in the storytelling, it's also just the beauty of families coming together to tell stories, things that we experienced growing up, but they kind of disappearing. So for me, it's a very meaningful campaign. But more than anything, it's the fact that it involves us. It's on us to tell the stories that we want to tell. It's on us to participate. And it includes eating chocolates. So why not?
And Lufuno, tell me, what tools are you incorporating into your home or your playroom to make sure that Vlad can communicate in his home language? I imagine, yes, reading the stories is one thing, but I know you, you sneak in many other interesting ways of making sure that he's a part of this journey full on.
When I communicate with him, we name objects in Tshivenda more than anything. So he's going to daycare now, and it's mainly English speaking. But when he's home, every word that he uses to describe an object, and it is in English, I then teach him the translation of that. Even with the books that I have that are his favorites in the house, but they're in English, we translate the words to Chivenda. So I will narrate it to him in Chivenda just so that he is bilingual and understands that this object in Chivenda is this in English. This object in English is this in Chivenda, so that he's able to learn as he learns in school and learn as he does at home.
And when it's time to give him some treats, maybe he's looking for like a sweet treat or like a chocolate. How would he ask for a chocolate? Let's say it together now.
Ndikombela sweetie.
Sweet Malegere Nuivo. Now, Cadbury has over 500 children's stories written all in South African languages available on their digital library. Will you and him be sharing your homegrown stories to help inspire the stories that will be available on the digital library? Please say yes. Please say yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I already have. I did one with the Cadbury team, and it was so much fun because I was picking up from another mother who speaks Xhosa with her daughter, and she started the story, and I completed it in Chivenda, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful experience. Like, I got to go back to being a little child and using my imagination to tell a story that I knew nothing about, but create a story that people can relate to. Like, after I was done with that story, I knew that my cousins, my sisters, everybody would know what I was talking about, because it's something that it's a memory, you know. I kind of shared a memory and incorporated that into the storytelling.
That is the absolute beauty of it, to see that we all come together, are able to put in a part of our story that becomes one big story that inspires an entire nation to fall in love with reading, yes, but to fall in love with our authentic African languages is the beauty of it all. Lufuno, we love your work. We love Vlad. We see you guys flourishing, and that makes us all so, so happy. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
Ndinifuna ngamanda. Inui. Now, here's an opportunity for you to share an authentic homegrown story and help children fall in love with reading. Look out for the Cadbury Homegrown Story Edition packs in stores. Then what you do is you scan the QR code and you help us finish the story and bring it to life. How beautiful is that? For more details on how you can unlock your story, visit cadbury.co.za and follow hashtag Cadbury Homegrown Stories and at Cadbury Dairy Milk SA on Facebook, or at Cadbury_SA on Twitter and Instagram to find out more. We all have a part to play, and it starts with you and your stories.
Your generosity can ignite a love for reading amongst our youth. Share your homegrown story. See Cadbury Story Edition packs. There's a glass and a half in everyone.